Well, thank you very much, Gordon, for your introduction, and may I congratulate you and your team of Lisa and Fiona and the others on a magnificent conference that you've put on yet again. And not only that, also the tremendous work that you do in strategic policy. Many other events have been done in the last year or two that I've been to, and they've all been magnificent. So we're very proud of you. Congratulations. Also, I'd just like to say there's a lot of very distinguished people in this room, and I'd just like to acknowledge all of those here who have done so much in the past, in the present, and for the future in making our nation a safer place. So thank you very much. Just quickly, I'd just like to talk about the Henderson Alliance and the role it plays. It's an alliance was formed a couple of years ago, primarily to look after the interests of SMEs, ones who are interested in getting into defence industries, where we want to promote and develop their capabilities. Now, you can see all of that stuff on the slide, and I'm not going to go through that in detail, but I think a couple of things that I would like to pick out is that we try to create opportunities for SMEs to have face-to-face meetings with the primes. So we've got very good relationships with the primes, and we've set up a number of events, and we've been able to successfully get a number of our SMEs to get some work. And we're particularly appreciative of the primes and the approach that they've taken towards us, particularly Lursen, locally, with the offshore patrol vessel program. They've been fantastic, and I'd like to pay tribute to Malcolm and to Keith Rao, who've done, Malcolm Taylor that is, I'm sorry, and Keith Rao, who've done such a fabulous job in engaging us and helping with us, but also with BAE, with the frigate program, where Tony Martin and Greg Keane have been so good towards us. And another interesting thing which should be looked at there is that we're looking not just at naval shipbuilding, not just at defence, we're also looking at the other industries which are very complementary to defence. And that includes the Metronet rail, where we see huge synergies between the work there and the work that's in defence. It's all directly transferable. And so we've got a very good relationship, particularly with Down at Bombardier, we've helped them to populate their supply chain to make their offering to government. So that's great. Now, Angus Campbell said something interesting before lunch. He said, you need to know your ecosystem. So I'd just like to talk a little bit about the ecosystem in Western Australia, because we see it's uniquely different to the ecosystems in other states. Doesn't mean that it's better, it means that it's different. Now, a lot of people from outside of Western Australia would be aware of the mining and oil and gas industries in this state. They've dominated the economy for a number of years. And to deliver those programs, they're worth hundreds of billions of dollars, has taken an enormous amount of work for some very highly sophisticated SMEs who've been able to deliver those works. When you look at oil and gas, for instance, the exploration, the extraction, the transfer of the products, the processing, the storage, and then its delivery overseas, you can imagine some of the equipment that's been used, and it's some of the highest engineering standards you'd see in the world. And even if you look at their use of remote technology, where they've often got to fix and maintain things that are on the seabed a kilometre or more below the surface. Not only that, in mining they have a lot of technology in processing, mine processing, ore processing, but then you look at the remote operation centres that they have. If you go out near the airport, you'll see the remote operation centres there, and there's a lot of automation used and a lot of robotics and artificial intelligence. The point I'm making is that these are highly sophisticated industries. They're not just red dusty programs where people go out and dig up dirt and put it in the back of a truck. Modern mining, modern oil and gas are some of the most sophisticated and intricate projects that are going around. And therefore what we're saying is there's huge latent capacity in this state where we can recruit some of the SMEs that are working in that sector and bring them over into defence. And we see that we've got a vision that Western Australia becomes the defence super centre for SMEs in Australia. So what we'd like to see would be, we're already doing the maintenance on the Anzac frigates and the half-cycle sustainment for the Collins-class submarines. Obviously, we would like to see the full-cycle docking being stationed here in Perth. We hope also to see the sustainment of the new fleets that have been built, the OPVs as well as the frigates and the submarines. We also would like to see WA take a very strong role in delivering services and technologies and componentry to the frigate and submarine projects which are going to be based in South Australia. Now, I think what a lot of people don't realise is that there's more than enough work in that $85 billion programs for South Australia to possibly do by themselves. Naval Group has previously said that they believe that more than half of the work will be done from outside of South Australia, and I'm sure BAE's got some figures as well, but publicly they have said that 70% of their work's going to be subcontracted. So we'd like to think that there's some huge opportunities in Western Australia to be able to provide those services from here for assembly in South Australia. On top of that, we see a lot of potential in the future for working outside of the military and the defence needs, and cruise ships becoming very, very important to the state's economy, the tourist economy, and we believe that over time there could also be some opportunities there for our industry to support. And what we'd like to see is for our SMEs to be skilled across a range of industries and be agile enough to come in and out of the defence industry and bring and transfer the technologies and innovations to really develop a thriving sector here in Western Australia. I mentioned full cycle docking and sustainment. We'd love to see those announcements made sometime over the next 12 months or so. But one thing that we really do, one message we want to get out there is that we don't want any favouritism. We don't want any parochialism. We don't want any political decisions being made. We just want the right decisions made for the right reasons. And if Western Australia is going to be granted those services for the future, we would like to think that we're going to win it on our merits. And we're quite happy to go out there and help make the arguments as to why that should happen. Now, we're working with our SMEs to formalise the new age standards to make sure that they have the highest international accreditations, that they've got the best QA systems, they've got the best project management programs in place, and they've got the best cyber security. And if they have all of those skills, they can then transfer those across the other sectors as well to make sure that Western Australia is the locus of advanced manufacturing in Australia in the future. From government's perspective, we would love to work with them and help to create some outreach programs to go out and identify and recruit some of the highly skilled SMEs that I've talked about that are sitting out there latently in the background at the moment. We would like to work with government to look at the industrial architecture or methodology that could be used. There are a lot of different options there, and clustering might be one which helps bring SMEs to the fore. We believe that the federal government should consider taking a tailored approach to each state, recognising their unique differences and opportunities, and also the different roles they're likely to have in the future. So we'd like to push that one-size-fits-all sort of approach away and then instead tailor the programs to meet the needs of local industry. And we'd also like to think that some of the funding programs could be open for review. Look, the programs out there at the moment are very, very generous towards SMEs, and we've been lucky in this state to receive a lot. But we believe they could be more efficient, more cost-effective, and could leverage off industry and other parts of our ecosystem here to create better jobs, better results. So to simply wrap up, what I'm talking about is we see an enormous opportunity here in this state to create a defence super centre for SMEs. We believe we can carry the growth and possible future expansion of defence industries in Australia. We want to work as a team, as Team WA, which has been led by Minister Papalia and the Premier, who's talked strongly about this in the past. We've been thrilled with the approach taken by Matt Moran and his team at Defence WA. There's a lot of collaboration with industry groups like Aid WA. We work closely with them as well. And we believe that we can bring all of this together to create a new economic pillar for this state, and not only that, to develop and advance the sovereign capabilities of Australia's defence industries. So thank you.